The 10 most expensive cities to retire in the U.S. Coming to you from the beautiful Eastern Sierra. Look behind me. Mount Whitney, tallest mountain in the contiguous U.S. Beautiful. So, top 10 most expensive cities. Most of these you'd expect on here, but some surprised me. I was kind of like, what? How did that come up on there? But what they're talking about is most expensive for retirees based on what your nest egg is. Now, some of these numbers may seem kind of inflated to you. I mean, because it really all comes down to your expenses, right? If you can keep your expenses low, you might not need as much as they say you do, but it still gives you an idea. Here we go. Number 10, San Diego. Beautiful city. I mean, for all around weather, year round, you can't beat it. I mean, we're talking like, 70s in the summer, 60s in the winter. Beautiful city, lots to do. Military presence there as well for you, those of you who are veterans. Beautiful city. Number 9, Long Beach. Going out with Snoop, baby, in the LBC. I didn't really expect this one to be on there. I looked for a place to buy in Long Beach not too long ago, probably 3 years ago. Beautiful city, but you know what? It's not as expensive as Los Angeles. According to the list, you need $3.5 million in your nest egg to retire comfortably in Long Beach. Do you need that much? If your expenses are low, probably not. But for those of you with moderate income like myself, and most of the people on this channel, and for anyone watching, if you'd like to learn about ways to get through retirement on moderate income, consider subscribing. We got a lot of ideas going back and forth. And if you like the video, please like it as well. It's free. So, Long Beach, fun. I mean, the first 4 or 5 blocks from the beach, beautiful, beautiful little city, lots of stuff to do. So that was number 9. Number 8, Washington, D.C. Politics, baby. You want to be a broker, a power broker? Go to Washington, D.C. when you're retired. $3.6 million to retire in Washington, D.C. Excuse me. Dry throat as always out here in the high desert. Very humid in the summer. Yeah, I'm not too much on that. I'd rather go with what you see behind me. High desert, dry heat. Right now it's probably about 85. Don't really feel it. But Washington, D.C., lots of stuff to do. Hey, capital of our country. So if you want to go there, $3.5 million or $6 million. Seattle. $3.6 million to comfortably retire there. I've got someone creeping up on me. Are you from Washington, D.C.? Sorry, you're on the list. Seattle, weather, not really for me. A little too damp, a little too cloudy. I prefer the sun most of the year. I'd like to have a couple thunderstorms a month. That'd be great. I love the thunder and lightning, but to be constantly overcast like Seattle can be, yeah, not so much for me. Number 6. Now, I didn't expect this one at all because I went to school at UC Berkeley. Number 6 is Oakland, California. Where'd that come from? Yeah, it's a Bay Area, but should it be on the top 10 list? Supposedly, you need $3.6 million to retire comfortably in Oakland. Now, there are beautiful areas of Oakland. Oakland Hills. Beautiful area, but I did not expect it on this list. Like I said, I went up to UC Berkeley for my MBA, and I've been all around there. Didn't expect Oakland. Number 5, this is obvious, New York City. Supposedly, accordingly to the list I saw, you need $3.7 million to retire in NYC, baby. I have a friend that lives there with his wife in retirement. He loves it. So much stuff to do. Obviously, it's New York City, right? There's anything you want to do in New York City, any time of the day, the city that never sleeps. But it's expensive. For those of moderate income, I couldn't retire in New York. I'll tell you that right now. But those of you who can afford that, hey, anything you want to do, any time of the day, NYC. Number 4, and this one hurts my heart because I'm an LA boy. I went to UCLA as well for my undergrad. I lived there for 30 years. $3.8 million in your nest egg to retire comfortably in Los Angeles. LA, like New York, even more so. you can do anything you want within an hour's drive. You can go skiing in the morning. You can come back and in the afternoon, go to the beach, go surfing, hang out, have a couple beers, sit there like just a, beached whale. Anything you want to do in LA, you can within an hour to hour and a half drive. And you've also got culture, you've got the theater, you've got all the rock shows you want to go to. Sunset Strip is still very viable. They have very small clubs that host some pretty big name bands. But LA, I couldn't do it. To retire full time there, I'm there half time because my girlfriend lives there in her house that she owns and is paid off, by the way. She's doing great. But LA, yeah, it's number 4 on the list. Number 3, Honolulu. You need $4.8 million to retire comfortably in Honolulu. Beautiful, tropical paradise. But yeah, very expensive. The Big Island, you got Maui, you got Honolulu, all different kind of environments, right? Depending on what you want. But sure, it'd be great to retire there. I can't do it. If you can, good for you, man. Send me a postcard. Number 2, and this I did not expect to be on the list. I lived in this city for 3-4 years. Back when I was in my mid-20s. I was a drafting instructor there. San Jose, California. $4.9 million to retire comfortably there. Now, I know it's right there next to Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley kind of starts there, goes north a little bit. So I get it. I get why it's so expensive. But I didn't expect it to be on this list. I just didn't. San Jose, gotta be honest with you, didn't do much for me. It's not a bad town, but not much to do there. In the surrounding areas, sure. But I lived in San Jose for 3 years. Didn't do too much for me. Those of you in San Jose, not a bad town, just wasn't for me. Now, number 1 on this list, which, since I haven't listed it so far, I'm sure you can kind of guess what that is. Most of these cities are in California, right? San Francisco, California, $5.7 million in your nest egg to retire comfortably. San Francisco, obviously, absolutely beautiful city. Absolutely beautiful. I remember when I was going to school in Berkeley, though, it could be 80 degrees in the summer in Berkeley, and you go over to San Francisco, it's 55 and socked in with fog. Now, to me, that's not my idea of fun. But absolutely beautiful city. The best time in my experience to go to San Francisco is late summer through the fall. Say September through October, early November. They usually don't get as much fog there. Beautiful. But again, it's a huge international big city. All kinds of stuff to do there. Anything you want to do, you can do in San Francisco, right? So that's the list, guys. For most of us with moderate income like myself, probably not going to be retiring there. But some of you might. Some of you might have your expenses so low, you might have a house that's paid off, and you would love living in these areas. I got to tell you, I would love living in most of these areas. Oakland, San Jose, yeah, maybe not so much. The rest, I'd love it. Anyway, guys, that's the list, the big top 10. So, stick to what you know, financially, budget-wise, our nest egg. And just remember, from the Eastern Sierra, where it's beautiful all the time, we got this.